Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're doing something new. I thought I would start up a new series. And if you can't tell by the picture, this is what if Deku had venom. And everything, and I mean everything. Like, yeah. About everything goes to canon. Like, if you don't know what that means, just watch like the first and maybe second episode. Yeah, maybe the first two episodes of My Hero Academia, and you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, this basically takes place the after. Oh, before we actually start this, if you guys really like the Fallen Angel, like narration and script part of it, oh, you're gonna love this series. Cause one, I wrote this script farther than the other one. And one, it's also scripted. So, yeah, two shots. So, yeah. This is we're gonna start off a flashback to the morning before Izuku went to class in another area. Yes, it's a weird place to start the story off. Well, it's not that weird because, yeah. It's a weird place to start, but not really, because everything plays out to canon. Well, till now. Again, let's pick off a flashback to the morning this morning before Izuku went to class. In another area, there's a meteor falling from the sky into a field near Izuku's hometown. There was a black substance that came out of the meteorite. It started to move, and it began to move to the city. From then on into Midoriya's neighborhood. It then found a cat and jumped onto the cat. The black substance bonded to the cat and took control of it. The cat then walked around the area trying to find something or someone. As he was doing this, he saw a boy from a window, and he looked tired, like he'd just gotten up. Then the cat then jumped into the window as a cat, and this caught the boy's attention. "What brings you here, little guy?" Izuku said, with a yawnish yet cheerful voice. He opened the window and began to pet the cat, unknown to Izuku that the black substance from before then unbonded from the cat and onto the boy. There was a voice that sounded dark and scary, but also with a bit of sinister and comic relief that nobody but Izuku could hear. Basically, the Venom voice in the movie, Venom. If you've never seen the movie Venom, I recommend it. It's a great movie. I can definitely not land this voice. Perfect. A mysterious voice said. "Huh?" Izuku said, confused. Izuku thought he heard something, but he shrugged it off and thought he was still waking up. The cat ran off and he closed his window. The boy then ate breakfast, got dressed, and went on throughout the rest of his day like it was any other. Returns. Now we flash forward to present times. We return to before when Izuku was walking home after his very, very, very hard day at school. Izuku was walking home with his head down in sadness due to how shit his day was, but sadly had to admit that this was normal for him because he wasn't looking. He bumped into some thugs that made them mad. We're just gonna put these ones as Thug 1 and Thug 2, because I don't feel like coming with names of them here or now. "Hey, watch where you're going, shithead," said Thug 1. Sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you guys," Zuko said with a stuttering and skippish voice. "You better watch where you're going or else somebody's gonna get hurt," Thug 2 said in a threatening voice. Zuko, I said I was sorry. "You know what? Just because of that, you need to pay up now," Thug 1 said in a very threatening voice. Zuko had a confused look on his face at first, then he heard a click and looked down to see one of the thugs holding a gun point blank at him. Zuko then puts his hands up in the air. He then heard a dark voice, though. Again, imagine the Venom voice from the movie Venom. "What are you doing? Who is that? You're embarrassing us." "How am I embarrassing you? I'm only doing the sensible thing and putting my hands up in the air." "Stop that." Zuko then puts his arms down with a confused look on his face as he felt like his body had a mind of its own. The thugs were also confused, though, because while all this was happening, they could only hear Zuko talk to himself like he was crazy. Well, he kept putting his arms up and down, up and down. "What? No." Puts his arms up. "Yes." Puts his arms down. "No." Puts his arms up. "Yes." Puts his arm back down. It just goes back and forth with the moment. So follow along with with my dialogue. "No." "Yes." "No." Then the voice then tricks Zuko and pulls a Bugs Bunny, saying no instead. "No." "Yes." Then Zuko looked up confused and saw the thugs were still there, looking at him confused too. "Ha! Got you." "Hey, we're still robbing you." Zuko's hand then turned into black goo and then grabs the gun the thugs held and threw them. He then proceeded to beat up the thugs. He didn't feel like he was doing anything, almost like his body was moving on its own. He was just along the ride. His body then started to grow a black fist and punched one of the thugs into a wall. The other thug tried to attack Zuko in the back, but instead got punched by a black gooey tendril that shot out of Zuko's back. The first thug then hit Zuko in the face, making Zuko drop on the floor. The first thug, as he stood over Zuko with a bruise in his eye, the second... No. I skipped a line there. Making him drop to the floor. The first thug was smart and decided to book it, but the second thug got cocky as he stood over Zuko with a bruise on his eye. The second thug began to spoke up in a mocking tone. "Huh, you ain't so tough now, aren't you, you little brat." He's then grabbed by the neck by a black gooey hand. Then Zuko's body. I said that wrong. By a black hand bigger than Zuko's body and covered in black goo. Zuko's body then started to get pushed up. Zuko's body then started to get pushed up by the black glue. Why do I keep saying glue? Goo. And it began to cover Zuko's body as well. Then cover Zuko's body as well. Then new black suit went over his face, and that black goo then created a face over Zuko's face with white eyes, sharp white teeth, and a long, nasty tongue. And then it began to speak to the thug. And okay, pause for a second. In this story, I call the venom from the movie, his monster form. So when I say his monster form, I mean Venom from the movie. This is Venom speaking, by the way. Eyes, lungs, pangreas, so many snacks, so little time. Izuku then, in his monster form, tried to eat the thug. Ah, no! The thug screamed in terror. No, Izuku said within his mind. Izuku's arm then punched the thug out of his other hand. Then the black substance proceeded to retract into Izuku, the thug from before, and started to shoot at Izuku. But suddenly, before the shot could even make a sound, Izuku felt the urge to jump as high as he could. He dodged the shots and jumped 5 stories high onto a roof, and then jumped to other roofs to get away from the thugs or anyone else. Izuku then stopped and sat down on a roof. He then started to talk to himself. Izuku speaking. What the hell is in me? Me. Ah, who are you? Izuku started to hear the same dark voice again, but he knew he was alone. So where was it coming from? The voice introduced himself to Izuku. I am Venom. And what are you? Well, I guess I'm on this planet, I'm an alien, but to be more specific, I'm a symbiote. Why are you here? Are you going to take over the planet? Why'd you try to eat that guy? Will you eat me, too? Oh no, will you eat other people? Then Izuku then began his muttering, and then Venom snapped an out of it by using his own hand to hit him, to slap him. Will you be quiet so I can answer your questions already? Ow, how did you do that? Okay, first to answer all your questions, your previous questions. I am here because I landed here. I'm not here for any specific reason. No, I'm not really that interested in taking over the world. It's fuel in the tank for us. No, I will not eat you because if I die, you die. Impossibly. He snickers. And for the last question, I'm a symbiote. I form a bond with my host, and once I form that bond, it is almost near impossible to break. This bond allows me to control them if I want, but I don't want to control you. I just want to host who I can live in. Okay. Are you okay with this? Well, I mean, you did save me from those thugs, I guess. I owe you one. And also, I have that feeling. If I said no, you wouldn't listen and just hijack my body. Yeah, you're right about that. But I do come with benefits, though. Benefits? Izuku was very confused at what Venom said. Well, because I'm a symbiote, I can give you abilities and help you protect yourself. Izuku's face then lit up with hope and joy, and almost on the brink of crying. Then he asked Venom the question that could give him the one thing he always wanted. The one thing he could never have, but now can. You can give me a quirk? What's a quirk? Both Venom and Izuku, both of Venom and Izuku, but Izuku just froze more at Venom's questions. Venom thought, what the hell is a quirk? And then Izuku thought, how the hell does he not know what a quirk is? How do you not know what a quirk is? Give me a break, kid. I'm on another planet. Well, a quirk is basically a power you are born with. And on this planet, 80% of the population has a quirk. These quirks could be anything. I'm cutting that line short because I'm cutting low on time and I want to get as far as I can. What's your quirk then? Izuku froze and then struggled to give Venom an answer. He was afraid if he said he didn't have a quirk, Venom would leave him for a better host. Well, the thing is a smaller part of the population are not born with quirks. Is 20%, and I'm part of that 20%. I don't have a quirk. Venom could sense how this bothered Izuku and felt like He actually knew how he felt. Venom then said something that cheered up Izuku a little. Sorry, I'm gonna have to cut this short, guys, but make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.